Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes here while we talk about movies. Okay, I'm the one doing all of the talking. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to watch a specific movie and spend your time and money watching it. So, the specific movie I'm reviewing today is called Together. This movie is now available in select theaters and on video on demand. Yay! And if you'd like to watch it on Amazon, click down below because I have a free 30-day trial on Amazon coupon for you. Well, you just click on the link and then you get the free trial. So, yay! So, this movie is rated R. It's an hour and 30 minutes and I'll give you my movie review mom grade at the end of my review, just to keep you watching. All right, let's dive in. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell. I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, tips for parents, of course, themes worth talking about, and even some recommendations for other movies that I think you might also like if you like this one. All right, so in a nutshell, written and directed by Nicole Beckwith, this dramedy is about a loner who becomes the gestational surrogate for a single man in his 40s. In other words, it's his sperm and somebody else's egg, and she's just carrying the baby. As strangers, they come to realize their unexpected relationship will challenge their perceptions of connection, boundaries, love, and friendship. The popular film first showed at the Sundance Film Festival and garnered instant praise. So, here are some of the things that I really liked about the movie. First of all, everyone fell in love with Ed Holmes when we saw him in the TV show The Office, right? He plays his typical hapless man child character in this movie and in most movies, which many people find very endearing. If you don't like him, though, then don't watch this movie because he stars in the movie. There's a very sweet monologue by Ed Helms' character about why he wants to have a baby as a single man. His character developed an app called Loner, which is appropriate because not only is the surrogate girl a loner, but so is he. Both of the characters are loners who learn how to navigate an unexpected friendship. One of my sons actually invented a dating app. It's called Mutual and it's doing really, really well. I'm so proud of him. So, Ed Helms and Patty Harrison, who plays the surrogate, have really good, awkward chemistry together. It was really fun seeing them together. And speaking of Patty Harrison, I had never seen her perform in anything before. She is really fantastic. And some say that this show is really all about her. I'm really excited to see what else she can do. Julio Torres is hilarious and plays a minor character, but he has some of the funniest lines in the movie. Comedian Tig Notaro has been popping up in a lot of movies lately as a side character. And I'm always surprised when Tig characters are serious. There's an interesting element in the movie that I thought was kind of cute. I've seen how parents will mark a wall to illustrate how tall their child has grown over a certain period of time. And I did that with my kids too, growing up. But I hadn't seen the idea before of having a pregnant woman lie flat on the floor and then marking how high her belly gets during the 9 months. Kind of a cute idea, right? I appreciated the fact that the movie illustrates how long and painful pregnancy and especially childbirth can be. I delivered four babies and can tell you it wasn't easy. I have two daughters in law and they both just popped out their babies. And I'm like, what? What? How'd you do that? Because for me, it was excruciating. Totally worth it though. The expressions on Ed Helms' face and Patty Harrison's face were priceless at the moment that the baby was born. The feels, it was just a magical moment, as childbirth is. There's lovely music throughout the movie. And did you notice this is a fun fact, I guess, that the opening font that's used in the movie is the same as what you see in Woody Allen movies. Check it out. And the reason I mention that is because Woody Allen and his movies are mentioned by the characters in the movie. I love seeing Nora Dunn, but and hadn't seen her for a while, but I thought her character was super annoying and insensitive. I just cringed whenever she walked into the room. So there's a very strong message from the director and writer there. Message received. Don't be like her character. Of course, Nora Dunn did a great job. If you're a fan of the popular TV show Friends, you'll get a kick out of some of the conversations that the characters have about that TV show. One of the best ensemble casts and TV shows really ever. Now, there were some things that I didn't like about the movie. First of all, so many painful, awkward, uncomfortable moments. The comedic tone is very flat and it's intentional, but it's not a style that a lot of people are used to. It's one of the elements that makes the movie so funny. But again, if you think that they're ever not going to be uncomfortable and awkward, they're not. It's just like that and kind of painful to watch the entire time, but funny. We don't get a lot of backstory on the leading man, a little bit more on our leading lady. And so I would have liked to have learned more about them, even though the movie's focus was on their present situation. I thought that there would be more lines using the expression together, together to describe what their relationship was or wasn't. Like I thought more people would say, "Oh, are you two together?" And they would say, "Well, we're together, but not together together." And there really wasn't that moment in the movie, which just surprised me. There are some jabs at Costco, and come on, I love Costco. And then the biggest complaint that I'm hearing and that I experienced is that the movie ends so abruptly. I wanted it to keep going to experience the big payoff. And when you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. So I won't give you any more spoilers. Patty Harrison's makeup was a little bit distracting when you could see the line of her foundation on her neck and then how it started and stopped, how it's supposed to be blended. So there's that. And then some of the decisions that Matt, the leading man, the character, has to make, like choosing paint color in the baby's bedroom, for example, illustrate how completely ill prepared and ill equipped he is to have a baby as a single man. There's not really much discussion about whether or not he should be having a baby, just that he is. The decision is already made. And so there's a little bit of a commentary, I think, or maybe I read into it about parenting. And comment down below and let me know what you thought about that. And then finally, it was kind of creepy that Ed Helms' character wanted to pretend to breastfeed the baby with a special nursing vest. Still, it showed he was all in. But on the other hand, I was like, ugh. And maybe it was supposed to be comical. I don't know, but he was really enjoying that moment. All right, let me give you some tips for parents. Because the movie is rated R and because of the content, the movie really isn't appropriate for kids. Plus, I think that kids generally are going to be bored. There's a lot of talk of sex. A male character demonstrates how to use a tampon with visual aids. And there's a lot of talk about the process of birth and pregnancy and all the body parts involved in that kind of thing. Now, the themes that were illustrated well in the movie include parenting, surrogate relationships, single parents, family and relationships, connection, friendship, loneliness, the need to move forward with your life, being judged and perceived by people as something that you don't think is fair, generation gap, which offers a lot of humor in the movie, boundaries, and different types of love. So normally when I watch movies, I write down funny lines or interesting lines, and I include them in my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can check them all out there. I'll just share a few of them with you right now. So as I mentioned, Julio Torres has some really funny lines. And so he's talking to his friend who's the surrogate. And she's kind of like, "Are you judging me?" And he's like, I'm dating, oh, and the guy is totally gay. So he's like, I'm dating two people named Sam. So how could I be judgmental? Everything coming out of his mouth was just so funny. And then another conversation he has with her, the the single man, Ed Helms' character, brings the surrogate some clogs because he wants her to be comfortable during the pregnancy. And she looks at him like, no. And then they're at this bakery where she and Jules, played by Julio Torres, both work. And so Jules looks at the clogs and says, a girl in my chem class wears clogs and I've never seen her smile. So they were both like a hard pass on the clogs. And then finally, Matt meets Jules. Matt is played by Ed Helms. And the surrogate says, oh, have you two met? And he says, I don't think we've officially met, but we've exchanged a lot of awkward stares, which is true. All right. And then I don't want to give you any spoilers. So if you want to read the interesting lines, run over to moviereviewmom.com. All right. So all said and done, my movie review mom grade is a B plus. The humor isn't necessarily going to be for everyone's cup of tea, but the movie is very sweet, charming. You will probably cry, and you'll also gain some new insights. All right, before we go, let me give you some recommendations for other movies that I think you might also like. The first one came to my mind was called Gifted, and it's actually about a single father and his evolving relationship with his young daughter. And then another movie I instantly thought of is a Jennifer Aniston movie, appropriate because they talk about friends a lot in this movie. But the movie is called Switch, where there's some single parenting going on and that kind of stuff as well. So, with that, I hope that you enjoy this movie if you watch it. Thank you so much for subscribing, commenting down below, liking the video. All of those are simple ways to support my growing channel, and I really do appreciate it. And I especially appreciate those who are going over to Patreon to support me there. All right, that's it for today. Have a fantastic one, and I will catch you in the next movie review or movie trailer reaction. Bye for now.